These men are training just outside Kyiv. In the next few days, they're going to go to the east, to the front line. Most of them are Chechens, and they say that they have their own score to settle with Russia because of the war that was fought in their country.
The men are fighting for Ukraine, but they come from Chechnya, the region in southern Russia. 20 years ago, Chechnya was also a byword for Russian destruction. After the Soviet Union collapsed, Russia fought 2 wars to keep Chechnya under Moscow's control. The Kremlin devastated the region. It's estimated 50,000 to as many as 300,000 civilians were killed. Now in Ukraine, dozens of Chechens have formed 2 volunteer brigades to help Ukraine drive back the Kremlin's forces. We visit their base in Kyiv.
This is from Russian special forces. They left this in Izum. His name was Dan.
Dan.
But Dan want to take Kyiv in 3 days, but don't have this chance.
This fighter goes by the call sign MAGA. He says he's one of around 50 Chechens in his group.
What is happening in Ukraine now? It's the same thing that happened to Chechnya. And all this occupation, all these massive graves, all this genocide of civilians.
MAGA and his comrades have been fighting since the first days of the war. These videos show them under shell fire outside Kyiv. Since then, they've fought in most of the key battles of the war, helping liberate the Kharkiv region last fall.
Do you dream of being able to go to Chechnya?
Of course, our objective is to liberate Ukraine and after to liberate Chechnya.
This is the man they would like to overthrow, Ramzan Kadyrov, Chechen's Kremlin-appointed leader who revels in presenting himself as a violent strongman. Kadyrov was chosen by Putin to rule Chechnya after the war, stamping out resistance to Moscow and ruling with an iron fist. Kadyrov has sent thousands of troops into Ukraine to fight for Russia. MAGA calls Kadyrov's forces traitors.
Slaves of the Russian Tsar.
Kadyrov is accused of kidnapping, torturing and murdering his critics. That's the reason MAGA and the others hide their faces.
It's a Ukrainian flag, it's a Chechen flag, and it's a Crimean Tatar flag.
Why do you see these flags united?
Because it's a territory that need to be liberated.
The Chechens have been joined by another group, Crimean Tatars, a Muslim minority that Russia has persecuted since it seized Crimea in 2014. After Russia's takeover, Tatars have faced a wave of arrests, as well as incidents of torture. This fighter, who wants to remain anonymous, left Crimea after 2014.
У нас любимая тема экстремизм, терроризм. Всех крымских татар, в принципе, которые неугодные принимают, приезжают в ФСБ. Много кто сидит, много кто диссиденты по факту уже, много кого осудили.
Ukraine's unexpected success in the war has given rise to talk that was unthinkable before the invasion, that Ukraine will try to take back Crimea. Last year's attacks on the Crimean bridge linking Russia to the peninsula has fueled those hopes.
In your view, do you think it's possible for Ukraine to retake Crimea?
Да, конечно, дело времени.
It's a question of time.
Да, дело времени, это безусловно дело времени. Просто сейчас тяжеловато. Но я думаю, что в скором времени это все произойдет.
When you say it's a question of time, do you mean is it this year? Is it years to come?
Нет, не знаем сколько лет. Ну, я точно не знаю сколько лет. Я в этом не могу вам ответить. Но надеюсь, что в скором времени. Хочется вернуться домой, хочется посетить могилы своих предков, помолиться, увидеть родных, увидеть близких, увидеть те места, где ты жил, родину своих предков.
The Crimean fighters, like the Chechens, hoping the war will bring them closer to going home.